In nowadays students' life, everything is very much attached to the rewards, the grades, the placements, the opportunities.
If students are told grades are assured, you don't need to write the exams, how many would still write the exams? You will struggle to find even 5 students in the classes. Because it is not for the love of learning that we join an institution. The concern for result came first, and then came the action. How has Nishkama Karma been popularly interpreted? The Gita starts with internal clarity, and from this understanding, it will become automatically clear what you must do now. And when action comes from such clarity, then it becomes unstoppable.
Good evening, Acharya Prashant ji. A very warm welcome to IIIT Bangalore. We are today privileged to have you here. So, I am Shutanuka. I am from the Outreach and Media Department of IIIT Bangalore. So, a very common question and a common doubt among students is that you talk a lot about the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedanta, which focuses on doing work without any attachment to the rewards. But in nowadays students' life, everything is very much attached to the rewards, the grades, the placements, the opportunities. So in this world where we are constantly chasing these things, how can a student keep going towards knowledge without the expectation of getting rewards at each stage? How to keep that motivated? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you.
See, the Gita doesn't start with work. It doesn't say, all right, you have chosen your work, whatever it is, and now get into it, do it without any expectations. Do not clamor for results and just keep doing whatever you are doing. No, that's not what Gita says. The starting point is not work or action. The starting point is the choice of work. And the Gita says that your work must be a result of deep self-awareness. You cannot just get into something, invest your energy there, invest time, resources, life itself, without knowing why you are getting into it. And you cannot prescribe particular types of work as universally good and other types as universally not good or undesirable. So how do I know what I must do? How do I know the right action to undertake? The Gita says, know yourself. Because action cannot be random. Action has to be in the context of who you are. I must know what I am internally. My fears, my perceived weaknesses, my troubles, my scars, my hopes. And I must know what these things are and where they are coming from. Out of this self-awareness emerges a spontaneous choice of work. Now, this work has not even been very deliberately chosen. This work has spontaneously emerged because I deeply know who I am, and I also see what my relationship with the world currently is. And world includes everything. My family, my past, the environment, the state of the nation, the state of the other countries, climate change, everything. That's all included in the world. So I know myself, and I also see the situation of the world. And from this awareness emerges, we are saying, a spontaneous choice of work. It's so spontaneous that it can't even be called a choice.
So it's a choiceless choice. You are helpless in front of this choice. You cannot refuse this choice. The matter has become so clear in front of you, like the sun shining, that you cannot even attempt to hide behind any kind of screen. There is no darkness left available anywhere. Everything is now crystal clear, like daylight. So you are choiceless. In that sense, you are helpless. You will have to do this. And when you know that you have to do this, this choicelessness leaves you with no scope to worry about the future. Work itself becomes so important because that work is arising from your own core. That work has not been imposed on you. You are not blindly getting into that work. You have a very deep, heartful relationship with that work. So now, that work consumes you so much, and you get so deeply immersed in it, that there is no time, space, energy, or need left to worry for the results in future. Now, this is Nishkam Karma of the Bhagavad Gita. When work has been chosen rightly, when it's a choiceless choice emerging out of awareness, then you will have no need and no desire to worry about the future or what you will get from the work. The work becomes its own reward. You can call it love. There is so much love in the action itself that there is no need left to desire anything from the future. Whatever could have been obtained is being obtained right now in the process of the work itself. One says it is sufficient that I am able to act rightly. It would be ingratitude to ask for more. So that is Nishkam Karma. Now, instead, how has Nishkam Karma been popularly interpreted? You do whatever you are doing, any random blind action, coming from ignorance, coming from social pressure, or familial pressure, or peer pressure, social trends, whatever. But that's how most people decide what to do. It's not even a decision. It's a kind of sleepwalk. You are being carried with the flow. Everybody is getting into that particular line of vocational education. I too will get into it. Everybody is taking such kind of career or life decisions. So I too feel internally pressurized to take those decisions. That's how we decide on our actions. Now, when such actions are there, obviously you will worry about the result. Because how do you, first of all, commit yourself to such actions? Somebody tells you, you see, if you choose a certain branch of engineering or management or any other professional education, then you will get such and such results, right? So the desire for results comes first. And with a view, with an eye on the results, you decide the action. Isn't that how the common mind, the common man works? First of all, you say, I want to go there. So desire comes first. And then you figure out the action. So should I walk like this? A serpentine walk? A haphazard walk? A straight line? Or should I fly over? Should I dig a tunnel underneath? So these are the possible options. Whatever be the options, the fact remains that first of all, the common man says, that is my desire. Now that is my desire and I want to obtain that thing. I want to reach that point. So I will now undertake action. That's how we commonly work, right? And we are asking, where did that desire come from in the first place? It's not your desire. We said social pressures, general trends, internal laziness. Why try to figure out what life is all about? Just do what everybody else is doing. So that's where that target comes from. Internal laziness and fear and pressure and ignorance and greed. That's what sets that target. The target is the first thing. And then comes the action. The action. Then comes the action. Now with this kind of action, in this framework, how are you going to act without concern for result? Because the concern for result is what has decided the action. The concern for result came first, and then came the action. And now some wise man comes to you and says, Bhagavad Gita says, do what you are doing and don't worry about the result. But the fact is, I have already worried about the result. That's why I am doing what I am doing. So what nonsense is being preached? What nonsense is being preached? That's not Bhagavad Gita. That's not what Sri Krishna had to offer. What he is saying is something totally different, dimensionally different. But we have totally missed it and misinterpreted it according to our own convenience. So, unless your action is coming from internal clarity, desireless action is impossible. Without internal clarity, you cannot have Nishkama Karma. From internal clarity comes the type of action that doesn't worry about results. But the common kind of action, you will have to worry about results because it is for the sake of results that most people work. They will not work if result is guaranteed without working. If students are told grades are assured, you don't need to write the exams, how many would still write the exams? Because they are not writing the exams for the sake of enjoying the examination. They are writing the exam for the sake of the degree or the placement. Right on the day of admission, if you are told placement is guaranteed, you don't need to attend the classes. You will struggle to find even 5 students in the classes. Even at places like IITs and IIMs, attendance has to be made compulsory. And wherever attendance is not compulsory, the classrooms struggle to see even 20% occupancy. Why? Because it is not for the love of learning that we join an institution. We join an institution for the sake of placement or degree or reputation or something, money or pressure, something. You tell people, salary is guaranteed even without working. How many people would turn up at the office? Because it was not for the love of the work that they were reaching the office. They were coming to the office just so that on the 30th they could get a paycheck. That's how the common mind works. The desire comes first, the action comes later. That's not what Gita is talking about. The Gita is talking about a totally different framework. It's a different dimension. The whole paradigm is not what we think it to be. The Gita starts with internal clarity. Please understand where you stand. Please see who you are. Then look at your relationship with everything around you. And from this understanding, it will become automatically clear what you must do now. And when action comes from such clarity, then it becomes unstoppable. Desirous action is very vulnerable. It can be stopped very easily. You're going to that point and somebody comes and tells you, irrespective of how much you walk, that point can never be attained. You will stop. Your action has no energy. Your action has no energy. But when your action is not for the sake of a particular point there, rather your action is emanating from a deep point here, then your action becomes unstoppable. What will you tell this person? He's already in love. He's in love with what he's doing. How will you stop him? You'll tell him, you'll not reach anywhere. He said, I don't care about reaching. I care about walking. You know, people will obstruct you, they'll hate you, you might face repercussions. You will say, the biggest harm that can come to me is that I stop. I'll not let this harm happen. Other things I can manage and tolerate. So you cannot stop this person. So you cannot just wish that doing any random thing, you will be able to not worry about the result. Worrying about the result will become a compulsion with you if your action is not coming from the point of inner clarity, lucidity. So before committing yourself to any action, ask yourself, why must I? Is this worth doing? What am I getting into it for? Those are very important questions to be asked, especially as a youngster. Otherwise we make decisions that are sometimes irreversible. And if you get into something and stay there for long enough, sometimes you even stop feeling bad about it. Because you get conditioned, because you get habituated. You're doing something for the last 20 years. For the first 1 or 2 years, you knew it was not the right thing to do. But now the sheer force of habit keeps you going. Like the momentum of a thing going down a slope. Nobody has to push it. Just the slope and the existing momentum will keep it going. After a while, not even the slope is needed. It has gained so much from the past that it can keep going for another 5 years, just out of the pre-existing momentum. Yes? Don't let that happen to you. Yes.